Record. All right, we are live. I am so excited to be. Oh, hang on a sec. All right, we are live. Can you hear that?
Sponsored by Facebook.
I am so excited to be. Okay, it looked like my Facebook Live was picking up the audio. So could you hear that? Okay.
Yes, I could.
Okay. This is my first time streaming live into a Facebook group and not to just Facebook. So I'm super excited to be offering this to my clients. So welcome everybody. My name is Vanessa Horn, and this is an exclusive interview that we are doing specifically for our clients who have been through our Create Your Signature program. So you are armed with a gorgeous program that you've created that is based on your expertise, your zone of genius, and what you do best. And so now the next step for you, for those of you who have not continued working with us in the mastermind, which is about how to really build up your marketing assets online and create a systematic flow to create clients consistently, which requires technology, which we base on Facebook ads and really creating an elegant marketing system. So some of you were not ready for that. As a matter of fact, the number one place that we recommend most people start after the program creation is in how to create clients quickly. And we share a number of these strategies inside of our program, Create Your Signature program. But what I love to do is to bring on experts who have other strategies that I know are complementary to our philosophy based on keeping things simple, being authentic, about being in congruence. And so with that, I am excited to bring to you an expert today who is going to show us how to create clients quickly using organic Facebook marketing strategies. So who is our guest? This is our guest. Her name is Juliette Stapleton, and she's an organic marketing strategist inspiring women in business to create, engage, and monetize their awesomeness organically. That means no paid advertising required for these strategies to work for you. And using her fearless client attraction system as the key to building an audience that converts quickly and easily so you can attract clients you love to work with by being open, authentic, and relatable. And that sounds like 100% the kind of clients that we have in our programs and the kind of way we want to show up in the world. So welcome so much, Juliette. I'm excited to introduce you to our community and introduce our community to you.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Vanessa, for inviting me. And I'm so honored to be the first expert to be brought into the group. This is fantastic. In fact, if you've just finished your Create Your Signature program and you have that signature product, you will benefit so much from strategic activities on Facebook. Look, Facebook is a social network. So essentially what we're doing here is we're creating conversations. So nothing can be too, businessy or too automated here. There's a little bit of work involved, but the same way as you would network offline to meet people and to create relationships, within your own community. When you see Facebook as a community that you're networking in, and you want to be as real as you are, you want to be as authentic as you are. In fact, people don't like buying on social media from people who are too businessy or too, spammy, salesy, straight away inviting you to like their page after you send them a friend request or accept the friend request, or, the first message you have to them and they start sending you links. For me personally, that never worked. In fact, in my personality, it takes much longer interaction before even private message happens, even though it is important. And I will talk about it later a little bit in detail. For the Facebook algorithm to start kicking in, it is important to also connect through a messenger, But let's just go down to the basics of this whole organic system. Organic means relationships, really. Organic is all about creating engagement, creating really, really inspiring content. Content is king. They always said that. A lot of people, it goes into one ear, comes out of the other ear. But this is actually where the magic happens. And you don't have to, some people are really, what stops them is that they don't know what to talk about. You know, what do I have to say? Even though they have a program, even though everything is clear, but they don't know how to connect to people on Facebook. And the answer is so simple. You really, really just need to be yourself. Show yourself, show your interests, show your vulnerabilities, show what you are, what's your passion is, and be open. Now, what I suggest, it depends, of course, you know, what we're talking about, but majority of people that I work with are essentially small businesses. You know, there are people who are the face of their business, coaches, healers, people who represent, so they are their business. And of course, there's only a X amount of business that they can generate from being themselves before they scale up, right? So it's much easier and it's much more intimate the way you attract clients on Facebook. You actually have a privilege of connecting to most of your people on a very, very personal level before they even become your clients, you know? And this is a fantastic thing. I actually found that ever since I started building my business on Facebook, my life has been enriched. I found so many people that I connected with here on Facebook that probably due to location or mentality or whatever other reason, I just couldn't do it offline, you know. So this is something that's magic that's also adds on to this, to the client attraction. But
and one thing I will say, Juliette, is even now, you know, I'm really big about creating an automated system online because that has brought so many leads to me. But even now, I'll still use these strategies that you talk about, and you'll go into greater detail here in a moment. I still use them to create clients here and there. It's always a create clients quickly strategy, so to speak, in that they're always accessible to you as options for building. Facebook is the largest platform. I don't care like what other bright shiny object comes in to orbit on social media. Facebook still is king or queen for us. And so there's so much opportunity here. And so I'm excited to hear what these strategies are that you'll be sharing. And I know you have a checklist that goes to even looking at what your profile looks like. And so I just want to make sure that those who are watching know that we do have this checklist. It will be posted in the comments of this live. And also it's been posted in our Facebook group, Create Your Signature Program, for those of you who are there. And so dive in, share what these strategies are. So I may be an experienced coach, or I may be a brand new coach or consultant, and I have this program. I know exactly where I want to lead people to. Where would I begin optimizing Facebook from an organic perspective?
Okay, so there is a few areas that you need to look at. Number one is your connections. Obviously, you know, if you have a Facebook profile and all people on the Facebook profile are friends and family who will never buy from you, you know, they're just there. You need to expand your audience. So building the audience is number one priority. And how to do this when, let's say, our business pages right now are not enjoying much reach at all. In fact, the latest numbers from Facebook and from from the digital marketing world is that the organic reach on business pages is nearing 0%. It's literally, you know, just a little bit over. So you can't use your business page alone and organically and hope to reach and build a huge audience. You have to tap into other areas. And what I suggest that you can do is you can optimize your personal profile and expand your connections. So basically the fearless client attraction system based on you optimize your profile, that anyone who lands onto your profile, who checks out who this person is, they can very easily progress from that profile to either your business page or your Facebook group. Facebook groups are fantastic to monetize on Facebook because that's where you really can have a dialogue with people. There is no limiting of your organic reach. You know, it's important to grow your business page, because when you decide to use the ads, or if you want to use messenger bots, which are amazing automation system, like Vanessa was saying, these are the systems that are bringing people into your webinars or into your whatever sales funnel you have. They're all great, but if you are just looking at Facebook as a platform and you want to monetize your efforts there, you need to consider a Facebook group, definitely, especially if you're a coach. And
so let me just review some of the things I'm hearing. One, be mindful to grow your connections beyond just your friends and family.
Definitely.
2, optimize your Facebook profile, which I cannot tell you how many people's Facebook profile I go and I look at, oh, what's the link to their site, or what's the link to their page, and it goes to like some blank generic like entrepreneur or some blank generic page on Facebook. It's not connected to a business page. And then the last thing you just said.
But I was saying that you need to make sure that your links are leading to either a Facebook group, and there are places on the profile that a lot of people don't even know that they're there, that you can create beautiful graphic. For example, we have the featured image option on our personal profile. There's an option to add 5 images, and it creates a collage, but it works so much more powerful if you just have one square image, really bright graphic, and you can advertise whatever you want on that graphic. And then underneath that, you can even put custom links. So yes, we have these, Facebook internal connections to our business page. And by the way, yes, sometimes you need to make sure it goes to a proper business page, not some location with a little briefcase. And I do know that sometimes Facebook can be glitchy, but there are hacks. I teach these kind of hacks that you can, even if you have no idea what you're doing, I can show you how to mess with the code and find the ID for your page and connect it to your profile, so it's still going to show. If you check out my profile, for example, I have, instead of works at or my position at, I have like my page, and I have an emoji pointing at my page. So that brings people into that. This call to action is so important. There's so many things. There's a nickname that we can use, and I use that for my title, Organic Marketing Strategist. So there's so many little things that you can optimize, and then anyone, even when they just hover over your profile, let's say you were commenting on something, they said, that's a great comment, who is this person? And that's so crucial. That's this one split second when we're creating an impression. So if you have a picture of a cat as your profile picture, it's not going to happen. If you have some sort of like a picture of a park as your cover photo, it's not going to happen. This is a split second where you give a chance for this person to decide whether they want to learn more or not. And this is where optimizing your profile, you can't do it without. You can't attract people when you're not telling them what to do and how to do it. This is one thing when it comes to anything online, guys. Social media, websites, anything. Clarity is key. You need to assume you're talking to a 7-year-old and you're just guiding them. They don't need to think, because our brain, when we're thinking, we're burning calories, and the brain doesn't want to burn calories. It wants to protect them just in case we need to survive or something like that. So if it comes to people trying to guess what you are, or trying to do hard work to find the way how to get into your website, forget it, you lost your clients. So attracting clients is actually simplifying for the way for them to come to you. So this is where, and I have the free cheat sheet that Vanessa mentioned, and everything. It's an online document. It's not the PDF that you just download and forget about it. It's an online document with videos embedded where I share screen. I show you exactly where to go and how to do it. So it's so easy. And then we're going to the next part, is our connections. This is where you have to be very strategic, because it's easy enough to send out, 50 to 100 requests to random people and then build up. We have a limit of 5,000 people on our personal profile. But you can waste that if you are not strategic about who you're connecting. So you do need to think, first of all, of course, you need to know who is your ideal client. And then my strategy for looking for people who can be potentially your clients is just join Facebook groups where maybe the admin person is doing something very similar to you, or there is a general area that is similar to what you're teaching or what you're coaching. And give value in that group. By that, I don't mean that you need to make posts, and go live and maybe be too impulsive. For me, for example, I still don't do this. I do sometimes collaborations when we do an interview style shows, but I would never go and just go live and start talking about my stuff. It's just not me. So what I do instead is I participate in discussions. I look very closely at, some questions or something, anything that can be connected to my business. And that's where I add a comment, I enter a discussion, even if I just agree with someone, if I disagree and I have a good argument as well. And then you already start interacting with these people. So you can then send them a friend request and they have seen your name popping up in their notifications bar. It's not that you just came out of nowhere as well. And these people, if they showed interest in what you're doing through some sort of a third-party discussion, they're already likely to also show interest in you. So when you have your profile optimized, it's easier then to bring them into your group or into your website or into your opt-in form or maybe a webinar, whichever way you have your sales funnel set up. So
I do know this about Facebook groups and commenting. One thing I'll add is it's not intentional because I don't really go in and do the Facebook group thing for client creation, but just even unintentional, I will take my time. Like if I'm actually going to be in a group and I have a comment on something, I will take my time to write a thoughtful response and serve and add value. And so it means making sure that there's, it's not just one big long paragraph, but there's spaces and it's chunks of time, things, and it's even I'll number them, things that show I'm an expert on this. I care about serving you in this moment. Those things stand out so much so that I can tell you as soon as I post in a Facebook group, boom, I have all these friend requests, which I'm already capped at 5,000, so they go straight to followers. And so I'll get all these people all of a sudden, and it's almost like in this day and age, besides just email marketing that I teach, your social media is the new list because email marketing open rates are diminishing so much. You need to look at your followings as part of your list. And so if somebody has they've actually experienced your response in a group that is meaningful and thoughtful, that will stand out from all the other people who are just throwing stuff out. It's the thoughtful responses that I found the most people follow me on Facebook as a result.
That's true.
And then I start seeing them going and reading all my posts and stuff.
Yeah, that's so true. And you know what as well? Yes, people are going into if you capped up your 5,000 friends limit, people are going into your followers because you can't accept them. Do go sometimes and clean up the list as well. But what's good about the following is that they still see all your posts, or at least, if they started interacting with you, they have a chance to see your posts. So this brings me to the third part of the Fearless Client Attraction System, and it's what you are posting, your content. And I mentioned that you need to create inspiring content, and the only way you can create inspiring content is when you're being yourself and you're actually just writing from your heart or going live on your heart, from your heart. Now, guys, these days, 50% of your content, if you're serious about your Facebook marketing, should be video. So if you have any issues with your confidence and you're not confident to go and do a live video, you need to practice this. You need to get over that fear. It's stopping you from reaching so many people and affecting so many people. You might have a small Facebook group, but when you're doing lives constantly, you get a chance to connect to so many people within that group that they will convert because they're relating to you.
And so can you talk about two things on the lives? One, I've seen an article on this, but I'm curious what your experience has been. What's the optimal length? And then do you have a structure you recommend? And let's just take the example of these guys have their programs created. They know what their zone of genius is. So what would be the best way to start optimizing Facebook Lives based on that? So could you answer those quick questions online?
Yes, and I'm so glad you asked me, because now don't ask me to drop the names of people who work in Facebook. I'm name dyslexic, but there was an answer that came from people behind Facebook Live. What is the optimal time? it's the optimal time for live video is enough to inspire somebody. And that's what Facebook people said. So it doesn't actually matter. There is no guideline that it has to be, you know, if you can touch somebody within 3 minutes, fine. If you're like me and you like talking and it takes 20 minutes, and you know what, you'll be surprised, all my live viewers usually stay till the end. And you know, no matter what, the funny thing as well, if you are being yourself, if you forget something, if something didn't go right the way you wanted, it's actually creating even more connection. I made sales after the videos that I thought, oh my God, I just forgot everything and it was no structure, nothing. And then I converted these people who were watching me into clients, you know, because they just saw the vulnerability. They just saw that I'm just a regular gal, the same like them. And this is where it's beautiful. The most important advice that I will give you, some people are not really good with scripts. However, it is important that you are authentically making offers on your life. I will give you. So there's, we're getting haunted again. So in terms of structure, it is good to have some sort of like an introduction where you're telling people what you're going to be talking about, and list, you know, don't talk about too many things in one life, because the best advice here, if you take a topic, break it down, have a part 1, part 2, part 3, only talk about one aspect of this thing. And if it feels to you that it's not enough to, you know, it's not enough to make a whole video, it actually is. So what you do, you have an intro where you introduce yourself, you say thank you yourself, you say thank you for watching this, you know, I am such and such, and I'm going to talk about this tip, you know, that I'm going to give you today. And you give this tip. But then what's so important on live videos is that you get as much engagement as you can. And how do you get that? By asking people to comment. So what I do is I say, if you want to hear this tip, I want you to put 1 in the comments. You ask them to put something like, just literally click a button or click. They don't need to write like an essay. But for Facebook, in terms of technically, the more of these ones came up onto your, you know, in your, and it doesn't have to be live viewers, it could be replay viewers. They also do react to these call to actions. But the more comments you have, the more reach this video naturally will get, and you know, it will be pushed to the top of the news feed. So this is so important. So what I do is I often use call to action after every part. So I will tell them, I'm going to talk about this. Would you like to hear that? Drop 1 in the comments, you know, and then I will maybe talk about this thing, and I'll break it down into maybe 2 or 3 things. And after each part, I do say, did you like that? And do you want to hear what's next you can do? Drop a 2. And this is how you basically need to tell a person, like you would to a child, please type this, or please click the love heart button. By the way, while I'm here, guys, I'm going to give you a huge advice. You know these reactions that we have now? We used to have a like button. It was so easy. You either like or you don't click it. Now we have all these reactions. The sad face and the angry face they actually are negative reactions, not to express our sadness or that we disagree with something, but they actually mark a post as a negative post, like a spammy post or something aggressive.
Really?
Better not to use them. If you want to show that you agree with something, if it's sadness, use love heart rather than those sad faces and the angry faces. So, and if you see some of your viewers are using them, say that to them. Say that, guys, please don't use them, because we don't want this video to be marked as spam for Facebook. So this is what they're actually made of. It's not common knowledge, and it's sad because, you know, it's just misleading. So anyway, that was a little distraction. But talking about
when you say Facebook Lives, are you talking about, I heard you say in groups, so I heard you say set up your own group and to do the Facebook Lives in there. But what about our personal profile or our business profile? I know there's benefits to doing it on business profile. So tell me, what do you recommend?
Well, I would say you need to do lives everywhere, because on your personal profile, you'll get connected to these new friends that you are making, you don't have much reach limiting, so you will reach more people, and they will relate to you, and they will want to check out more about you. Your business page, that's where I suggest making more structured videos, more value-packed videos, that if you wanted to use paid advertising at a later stage, and there's so much you can do with paid advertising and videos, you would have that arsenal of videos on your business page. And also, if somebody's checking out your business page, it's great when you have video content and it is really structured and really, loads of tips, loads of advice. You don't have any kind of, how would I put it, on your personal profile, you need to make sure that you are staying somehow personal, even though we are entrepreneurs and this is part of our lives. But if we constantly promote ourselves, we can get banned,
I have seen people's Facebook lives be taken down by Facebook when there was a lot of promotion.
That's right. And I even heard about the whole profiles being shut down. But we're talking about people who may be constantly posting pictures of their products. It could be like some sort of, products reps, and they just don't know what they're doing and spamming everybody. So that's, of course, that can get shut down. On the business page, you don't have that kind of issue at all. The question there is how many people you can engage with. And you really need to try and engage with as many people as you can. That's why you need to use call to action and make offers in your videos. You always need to ask people to comment. But in the groups, it's different. Group is a community, and you reach, enough people there. There's no limitation as well. So you can have a real good dialogue. And group is where you really monetize your efforts. So you've done this work where you expanded your connections and you optimized your profile, and then you're doing some live videos on your personal profile to showcase what you are, and then you bring them into the group. And that's where, as a coach, or if even in your business, there could be questions and answers. The group is perfect for that kind of work. And that's where you really warm them up.
So am I hearing you say that create your own Facebook group and then do lives, and the call to action is an invitation to your Facebook group, or what's the call to action?
Well, call to action is literally to ask people to make comments.
Engaging. Okay, but what about the end of your video?
And you can, at the end of your video, of course, you need to mention your Facebook group, and you need to or your Facebook page if you want to grow. There's no point doing the two, because people will only do one thing at a time. So just, decide what's important for you at certain time of your life. So for example, if last couple of months I was promoting my group, and then I decided, now I'm going to really promote my page. So my call to action would be more my page. If I'm putting any graphics, well, I'm a little bit techier, so I use software that you can put graphics over your videos, and I would promote my page these days, right? But it's my decision. This is all like marketing strategies, my decision for my particular business. But in general, you need to make sure that you are bringing people somewhere, one thing at a time. Make sure that you always ask them to comment, and you do it often, not just once in the video. You said your introduction before you go into the main, the meat of it all. Ask them to comment after you've given them the tip or something. Ask them if they liked it. Comment, put something in the comments. At the very end, tell them what you're going to be doing tomorrow, and ask them to comment if they want to see it or not. So the more comments you have, and it's just pure maths, the more comments you have, the more reach this video will get on your personal profile, And the more people see your video, the more they get a chance to connect to you, and the more you can attract your ideal clients out of them, because people do. The other thing as well, that's the videos, but the other thing as well.
One thing I want to mention, just pointing out to our clients right now, because we do teach, set up a strategy session, automatic booking link. I recommend connect with your first name, connect with Vanessa, connect with Juliette.com, session with Juliette.com, something like that. That's simple, because it's a call to action. That's an easy word they can remember to go type in. And you can say, I have X number of spots, and make it like a limited to help you with blank. So it's like a real value to that session, because everything in our world for selling high end is like drive people to the strategy sessions. If you could be doing one session a day, you can get a sale a week and hit your 6-figure income goals. And so I didn't hear you say that as a potential option, but I do want to point that out because we teach in how to create clients quickly. Make sure you have a booking. Make sure you have a page where people can book a session with you and offer that. It doesn't have to be a long one if you don't want it to be, but I just did a Facebook Live, and I really like doing like these interview kind of style, but I did it on my personal page last summer, and I created, I don't know, a $6,000 client, a $7,500 client, another $7,500 client, all 3 high-end clients from one interview. Sharing my heart openly.
And that's actually, yes, absolutely. I didn't mention it. However, it's one of the things. And in fact, I was going to suggest, and this is a very good suggestion, because sometimes I talk a lot, right? And for me to say goodbye means that you can go and get a cup of coffee. I'll be talking for another half an hour. So what I came up with is coming up with an outro. You know, like I actually have an outro that I have on a piece of paper because my memory is not good. And so this outro is fantastic. This is the last sentence that you say, and this is where you can just incorporate your booking link. So just like Vanessa just said.
Can you read your outro, or are you going to do it at the end so that they can get it?
It's like the last sentence you say. So it's a key to yourself as well to stop. And it's the great thing about it is that people remember that.
Can you read it? Would you mind reading it now? You're probably going to do it at the end anyway.
Mine is not. There's no book call to action here. Just says inspire, engage, create, and keep on attracting the life of your dreams fearlessly. And and I try and use this. Of course, I sometimes forget, but this is what the thing about the live videos, if you do them consistently, if you forget sometimes something, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter next time you do it. But what Vanessa was saying about having the booking link, absolutely. And in fact, add them to the description. I'm going to give you a huge link here as well, a huge tip here as well about links on Facebook. Facebook doesn't like links that will take you away from Facebook. So the evil agenda of the big brother is to keep us on Facebook. So when you are posting links, it's better to post them into the comments rather than in the description at the start. And then after maybe a day, or if there's more comments and a bit of attraction happen to this post or a video, it applies to any kind of post. You can then edit the post and put the link up on the top. So this is a huge tip. So if you have a link in your description straight away, Facebook algorithm will see that you're taking people somewhere else, and it will not show this post to as many people as potentially it can.
Is there a way on your business profile that you can have a link that goes to your strategy session? So it goes to connect with Vanessa, for instance.
Yes.
On your business page, so that you put that link in your comments. I mean, not in your comments, but in your description. So then Facebook is like, oh, they're keeping them within Facebook world. I'm not going to diminish the reach of this.
I know what you're saying. Not really. We do have an option. If you are not using Messenger bots, which you really should probably, because it creates this automation. But if you're not using Facebook Messenger bots, there is a way for us to customize the button. We have a message button, but we can also have book now button. But there is no direct link because it's sort of like a pop-up that appears when you click on it. So there's no direct link to it. Yeah, so far I haven't figured, and it would have been very handy. But if you just say link in the comments, that's what I do. I post whatever I need to post, whether it's call to action, I'm promoting a sale, any post that I need to put a link to bring people somewhere else, and I say link in the comments, and I use emoji, which, guys, it's great to use emoji in your posts. It also adds this extra. Facebook has emojis, you need to use them. Anything Facebook has available, use them to get this Facebook juice to your posts. So I put a little pointing down hand, link in the comments, and I put the comment in the link straight away as soon as I post it in the comment. And then a day later, if there was, there is attraction, more comments on this post, I go back and
now you're talking about just general posts, like if it's a written post or a photo.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, so it could be video, so any type of post at all, so the video as well. So try not to put the links in the description of your videos or in your text posts at all if they're taking people away from your and if it's an important link, especially look on business pages, we get very little organic reach anyway. So whether you have a link or you don't have a link, to be honest with you have no chance organically to reach massive amount of people unless you are already viral. And that's the truth. There's no way to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. That's why you at some stage you will need paid advertisement. But what I was advised by a live stream strategist, Katya Varbanova, who built in 2 years a huge audience, on Facebook and Periscope. And she is advising for the first 1,000 fans on your page, for the first 1,000 followers, to use it all organically, because you're sort of developing your engagement muscle, and you know how to deal with ads only are bringing us traffic, right? But it's the conversation that then, even when you're automating it through messenger bots, like Vanessa has that system on, it's still a conversation, so this is where engagement kicks in, and this is what you need to learn. In my own system, on your personal profile, it is important to have a mixture of different posts, so engaging posts. They could be random questions that you're asking questions. It doesn't have to be related to your particular business. It's just to create that conversation. They could be like blog type of long posts, where you just spill your guts out. I do that sometimes.
I do that. I've had people say, Vanessa, where's your Facebook blog? Like, you've stopped writing all your long posts.
And there's so many people connected. I once posted something, that's kind of like a personal thing. I didn't know what to write about. Started writing a little post because I was procrastinating on writing emails for my email sequence. And it turned out into this amazing long post. And then I just got people, somebody just went and bought my course there, and then, I never even saw the name, and I was like, who is this? But it's just this relatability, and they're so powerful, being vulnerable openly is really, really good as well. You get so many people connecting to you. So you can use that. You can use your, you can sometimes just share value and give tips. The more value you share on Facebook for free, the more you then don't have to charge to create. I don't know, I think that in your system you already talked about pricing. It's not that you're giving yourself away for free or for cheap, but when you're giving a lot of free value, your prices can be high up. And
my philosophy is like, I give away for free the stuff that people charge up to $197, $297, or $497 for, because I'd rather be like, give away that stuff, and then I can focus on my high-end clients for creating an experience, because a lot of the clients we attract are like you and I, Juliette, where we're authentic, we care about people, and we can't shut ourselves off that if someone pays $97 or they pay $9,997, we still care about them to the same degree. And so it's a partial boundary thing for us. It's what been my experience, where it's like, I'd rather give away this stuff that's lower price point, although sometimes you do have to charge. I'm playing around with charging to see if people value more, and then do like the actual coaching and support and all of that at a higher price point. So our clients have done a lot of work about owning the value of their work. And I don't know, did you address the question about like if they have their programs now, like how to parlay that into the content that they would be putting on these posts, on these lives? You shared a lot about sharing your story and your heart, but is there pieces of your actual content, or how would you distribute that? Is it valuable?
So for example, these value posts are something that you can come out and in a text post, not necessarily in a live post, you can give 1 to 3 tips related to what you're doing. Something that normally you'd probably charge at something up to $100. You would charge. It's something of real value, and you give it away for free. And you don't have to do it, twice a week. It's not that kind of thing, but it is where you really get a chance to shine as an expert in your field. And it is impressive. And sometimes people, when they get stuff for free unexpectedly and they connect to you, they do feel like giving you more. So they want to find out more about you, and often they will even go, and even though you told them how to do this, but they want you to go and help them again. So, my very
Yeah.
first value post was about, I think it was about optimizing your profile or something. And I used to charge $99 for it, and I got 3 clients from just posting it. And I said, guys, I charge for this shit, $99, but I'm giving it to you for free. And 3 people the same day just said, look, can you just do it for me? and I said, well, of course. And it doesn't matter how I promoted it before. It was like sort of like, yeah, optimization. Now I'm just giving it for free because I think that it's important. This is the most important thing. But so the combination of posts that we have, and how do you put your program in? When you're posting something on your business page, that's where you can really, post a lot of things about your program and your offers. You can tag your name in the post, and that will get added to your timeline. So you will get a notification that this page tagged you, and you can add it to your timeline. So that goes up to your timeline. But that doesn't go into the news feed. Do you see the difference? So if somebody checks out your profile, they see the post, but it's not, so you can share it as well. You can share it and maybe hide it from your profile so it doesn't show twice. Am I making sense when I'm saying? Yes?
Yeah, you're saying like if you're tagged, it's not going to show up in other people's news feed.
Yeah, it doesn't go into the main news feed. It just shows onto your profile.
Show up, and when people go, when they actually click on your profile and look at what's on your.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. If you're making connections, you need to have a strategy for making connections, because if you want to make connections that are potentially your clients, it is a little bit of work. So you have to go to groups and forums and have a look at what people are saying. So you need to make yourself a goal, like, for example, 3 to 5 people you're adding every day. But those people you would have to research a little bit, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to be 50 or 100 people, although that's also possible to add, but it doesn't have to, 3 to 5, because
Facebook will stop you. You can't do too many friend requests in a day.
You know what? The less people you have friends right now, the less friend requests you can send out. And I have at the moment something like 2,500 friends, because I just cleaned out, I think, about 1,000 of people who were wrong. And I can send out, I actually can send out 100 requests at the same time, and not a single time Facebook will say to me, do you know this person? You need to know personally this person. So it depends, I think, on how many friends you have. But in the beginning, it was, if I sent 20 friend requests but I only have 60 friends, of course Facebook would be like, oh, hang on a second, what are you doing? So 3 to 5 people, if you are researching them, if they potentially they fit your client, ideal client avatar, then you can send them. And if somebody, there's another thing about Messenger, we just need to mention this. So I said at the beginning of the show that you have to connect to people through Messenger, because it engages the algorithm. If you send a friend request to somebody and they accept it, if you go and just even wave at them or just say to them, thank you for connecting, you don't have to go very deeply in a conversation. It's a cultural thing. Sometimes I know in the States people are more friendly and they can talk to strangers, but in other countries, for example in my country, people don't talk to strangers. And if you try and contact a stranger, they'd be like, what's going on? Who is this person? So it depends. But what I try to send something like something that people don't have to reply. If they will reply and say thank you, like let's say I say, hi, thank you for connecting, looking forward to where this takes us, or something like that, And I've engaged the Facebook algorithm. What it means is that because I contacted them, Facebook will show my posts for the next few days more to this person. It's all about engaging the algorithm. So this is where it's important as well. When somebody accepted your friend request, go to their page, go to their personal profile, and see if you can like or even comment on some of their posts. Of course, if they're too personal, don't do it, it's creepy. But if they are like yourself, also trying to promote themselves or whatever they're doing, you can sometimes relate, and that sends a notification into their notifications system, so your name pops up. And then if you're sending them a private message, which is very personal and intrusive, but at least you already familiar, that name is familiar. So this is all about kind of thinking about engaging the algorithm, yet respecting people's time. And
yeah, and one thing I'll say about that is, and you were talking about promoting your program, I have found my posts that are the most promotion based get the least engagement, the least likes, the least comments. And so I do recommend, like, it's my philosophy, like there's I forget who it was, Matthew Mayfield, maybe, is a musician that my husband and I really like. We just discovered that he was in Raleigh and we missed seeing him live. And it's like, well, wait, I would have wanted to know that you're in my neighborhood. I really like you. So I encourage clients to share that they do have programs, to do share what they have going on that could be a way for somebody to work with you. Otherwise, if it's a mystery and you never disclose it, it's like, well, I would have wanted to go to your concert if I knew. And
that's right.
Let it be a small percentage, like make most of your posts be value-based with a call to action to your strategy session is a softer approach to selling than here's my program. I've got 5 spots. It costs, especially most of us are focused on high end. You would never publish your prices publicly. I never publish my prices publicly high end. And so that's where I would say like that. And I hate when people private message me and it looks like paragraphs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it has links to stuff they're selling or that they're promoting. And I'm just like, like
that's a no. I block
me in a conversation. Right. And so I just want to point those little specific things out in case someone's like, well, wait, what do I write in the private message, or how much do I promote my program?
Just literally hide. I don't personally think that you should, like, there's a stranger, right? We send a friend request, but they're not friends, like in real life. They're literally, friend request means that you are just requested that this person will pass you in the street. That's as much friends we are. So you don't come up with this person with the business card, right? Instead, you can say hi, you can wave, maybe just wave. And don't say hi if that's okay, as well with you. If you feel like you need a little bit more
literal wave, right? Because
yeah, there is a
little wave thing.
There's a wave thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a wave
emoji. You're saying?
Yeah, it's actually in the new connections when you create a new. You limited your 5,000 friends requests. So you must have missed this new feature.
I've seen the wave thing, but it kind of seemed a little creepy, like the old poke.
Yeah, you know what? Pokes are so much worse, but the waves actually are quite harmless.
Okay.
Look, I'm a woman, and of course it depends on who's waving. Because I think that women on Facebook get like an extra layer of pressure with Facebook messengers, because guys sometimes misunderstand completely what this Facebook is for, so this is a different area. But with the girls, I wave, and and I do say thank you for connecting. I'm looking forward to seeing or to interacting with your posts, like something like that. So I'm kind of saying to them, look, I'm not here to engage in a conversation with you if you don't want to. But don't send something like, how's it going? How are you today? Well, you don't know. This is a stranger. You don't know them. So don't create conversations that you wouldn't just come up to someone.
Something as simple as pleasure to connect, beautiful family. Boom.
That's all.
You have
That's
a beautiful
right.
family.
And that's actually very good, because that means that you checked out their profile, because the worst thing is when somebody sends you a message and they say, so what do you do? Hang on a second. My profile is up.
I know, like, you're being lazy. Just check it out. All the info's there.
Yes. So this is, but Messenger is like, it's like a black hole, and there could be, when I tried to record a training on how to do it in Messenger for my course, I had to re-record it 4 times because it was a rant. I just go on a rant, and I have so many emotions about this Messenger thing. But this is the whole idea, that you do need to engage the algorithm. It's good for you to do that, right? But you don't have to go too deep into the Messenger.
Is there anything else in your Fearless Client Attraction System? Like, did you get to make your way through all the steps? I want to make sure that in some of these side conversations.
Well, yeah, so the steps then, let's just summarize. So we optimize our profile, then we're ready to attract, and we know where we're attracting people. We are creating more connections. Meanwhile, we're posting a nice mix of personal and a little soft business posts, sometimes actually a post that you mentioned, for example, I have 2 spots left, just finished the project, 2 spots left, this, book me. no problem. Just don't do it every day.
About 10%. Do that about 10% of the time. Yeah.
But it's great to do that. It actually works to do that. I have made sales, and I have converted clients from just completely innocent posts even, or something like, did you optimize your profile? Yes or no? And yes or no, true or false, agree, disagree. Try and ask people, try and post something that people will need to reply, but it has to be very simple for them. It doesn't have to be something that a rhetoric question that they think they wouldn't even think of replying. It's a rhetoric question. Who would like that? You just you kind of like say, okay, well, you don't react to this. It has to be a little bit simple. That's what this is part of the system as well. And I have a whole training within my system for 10 types of posts. There's so much more than 10 even, but you can come up with posts that work for you, and then create a little planner, a little calendar, and you say, okay, on Monday I'm going to do a long post, and on Tuesday I'm going to do maybe a question, and then maybe a value post. And it's so much easier than you're directed. Even if you're a bit stuck, you say, okay, what do I have to do today? Right, a question and something else. And now, one thing about engagement, the negative publicity or any kind of bitchy or any kind of comments, unfortunately, get the most engagement. This is just something that I noticed, but don't do it very often. But if you need to, sometimes somebody sent you a funny message or something. I actually sometimes post things from Messenger just for the fun. And I get the most engagement. The more engagement you get, the more of your posts later on for the next couple of weeks.
I guess I'm not following what you're saying, that you post something negative that people engage with, you mean? Or
I post things, if somebody, let's say, trolled me. I don't have haters. But sometimes there'll be somebody on, it's very
You're
strange.
saying take a screenshot of that and you share it. Yeah.
And share it. Sometimes you might, if you want, you can just kind of, scrape the name off with the tools. When you're taking a screenshot, you can maybe scrape or blur the name if you want to be nice. But some things are very funny, but they get a lot of engagement. And sometimes you want engagement to boost your post, because you know that tomorrow you're going to be doing a value post. So you want to boost it. I see everything as an engagement booster. So sometimes the opportunity arises, and it only happened about 3 times in my whole history. I don't have any haters, but it's funny sometimes when you can twist the situation. You feel better about it as well, about just as yourself. So, but yeah, let's not concentrate on the negativity. So yes, so you're connecting to people, meanwhile you're posting, and the new connections check you out. They see that you're giving a lot of value. Your profile is optimized. You can bring them into either your business page and then maybe a messenger bot, or your group, or maybe your opt-in landing page, booking page, sessions booking page. So this is how it works. And these are the simple steps. They're really, really plain simple, but it's consistency and just doing them daily that works.
Awesome. I'm looking at a couple of comments and questions that people have asked I want to address really quickly, and then we'll wrap this up. And it looks like, Cassandra, you asked a number of questions that are more related to how to create clients consistently, which is the curriculum in the mastermind, like the budget for ads and best time to run ads. All those things are in that curriculum. How long should you nurture an audience in Facebook Live before offering a webinar? So maybe we can rephrase that and say, how long would you nurture an audience before you direct them to your funnel? What would you recommend? I
would direct them to my funnel straight away. But the thing is that on my personal profile and in my group, I give so much free advice, trainings, value, that it is in itself, just being in the group, you're constantly nurturing, just by engaging them in conversations. So, and there is no reason why would you delay bringing them into your sales funnel. If they're not ready now, they will be still on your list, and you can warm them up through your list. And one more thing, nothing works in isolation. The Facebook strategy itself will not work if you don't do email marketing. It's kind of like, it's like a few legs on a stool. You have to make sure that there is several ways that you are warming that audience. One platform doesn't usually work in my experience, because I also do email marketing, and I noticed even though all my sales are coming from Facebook, but these same people are also on my list. So when I back it up with email marketing, and my email marketing is very personal and relatable as well, that's just is the final nail on the coffin there. So they come to me.
As we wrap this up, where can they get more information about you, Juliette?
So we have a link to my free cheat sheet. You can also come to my personal profile, Juliette Stapleton, and you'll see my face there. And my group is called More Sales with Social Media Engagement. And I actually currently have a cover photo where if you click on the photo, you will see the link to the group. So it's very easy to join us and follow us. And that's where we do a lot of trainings and we do more. And if you have any questions, just post them or post them on my wall. I'll answer them.
So those of you who are watching, we conducted this via Zoom as a webinar. We live streamed it to Facebook. So we didn't engage on the Facebook Live to the same degree because I was basically hosting her as a guest. But we would love to know if you've listened to these points, type in, and it'll be to your benefit too, in the comments, what's at least just one action that you're going to take based on what you heard from Juliette today. And take a look at her profile optimizing checklist, because that'll be beneficial to you. But what's just one change that you will make as a result of listening to Juliette? So I've done a lot of these things, Juliette. One thing I did that was new to me that you said was those 5 photos that are on the personal page, like to make them all cut.
Just to use one. So when you click into it. Yeah, when you click into it.
I like that. I'm like,
you will see, just check out my personal profile after the show and you will see I have this, and it looks so, it's much bigger.
Prominent.
It's just a call to action, and the more you can just go wild there. It doesn't matter. It's a lovely place. On the phone, it looks beautiful. On the main page, on the desktop, it looks beautiful. So it's something that people can't really miss, because I'm also talking about optimizing your cover. But on the phones, there's sometimes too much information on, the search bar, depending on which kind of, but there's a lot of things there that you're covering your cover, but that's featured image is there, bang, looking at you, and underneath that you can add custom links, and this is so good. Custom links that take people away from Facebook.
Awesome.
This is cool.
Juliette, thank you so much for being generous and for sharing of your expansive knowledge on this topic. Guys, type into the comment what was most beneficial to you, what you're going to be implementing. I'll share those with Juliette. And thank you for sharing that gift with our audience so that they can really go and checklist their personal profile to optimize it.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you. Lots of love. Beijus. This is my sign off. Beijus. Bye. Bye.